This is the Prostate Pitstop. One man's journey, everyone's fight. With Keith Smith and Matt McChlery. Sponsored by the Ferry Project. Visit our website, ferryproject.org.uk. Well, hello, and welcome to the first episode of the Prostate Pitstop. I'm Matt.
And I'm Keith.
And we are going to be having a conversation together about prostate cancer and more importantly, about your journey, Keith, with prostate cancer.
Yeah, that's right, Matt. So, the whole idea is to give you an insight into what's inside me over the coming weeks and months, and to just share with everybody my journey and what it's like, what the actual experience is like. It's going to be interesting because I promised to be honest in all this. We'll see where that honesty takes us over the coming weeks.
So parental advisory warning, episode 1, Keith's got to be honest about prostate cancer. So you never know where it might lead. It's all good. So you've got prostate cancer right now. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. So I was diagnosed in early December of 2025. It's now January 2026. Came as quite a surprise, to be perfectly honest, because I was asymptomatic. But they diagnosed it, and it's an aggressive form of prostate cancer. So everything's been happening very quickly. And at this moment, I'm waiting for a date for a radical prostatectomy.
And of course, in future episodes, we'll be delving into a bit more detail as to sort of how it all began and sort of where you are now and I'm following your journey through. But I guess I need to fess up at this point as well. Now, I have not had prostate cancer, but I have had cancer. So I'm a cancer survivor. I had non-Hodgkin lymphoma in 2016. And I didn't have any operations because it was in my lymphatic system. So they couldn't chop bits of it out because that would finish me off. So I had chemotherapy and all sorts of other things. Lived experience, sort of past lived experience. Keith is kind of living it now. But one of the things I found out on my journey is that every single person's cancer journey is different. It's so different, and all the treatment options and everything else are so different. Even if you have the same kind of cancer, it's still different. So I've got some lived experience there, but it'll be different to yours, and of course, different to many listeners.
Yeah, and that's it, and that's really why we thought we'd share this, because hopefully people will find some common thread if they're going through cancer, and specifically prostate cancer. And if not, maybe it just gives them a chance to talk and have discussions with other people. Because really,
good to talk.
Exactly. And what we want to do is just be able to share this experience and hopefully support and encourage others in their journey. And as you said, the thing that's key for us all is this is my journey. It's not going to be somebody else's journey, and their journey will be their own. And what we're not doing, and what I am not, is I am not a medical expert. I have no medical background. I'm not intending. Yeah, we're not giving any medical advice or anything like that. We might share what decisions I've made and stuff like that, but we're not taking the place of doctors. What we're doing is just simply sharing what it feels like, what the experience is, and indeed, hopefully, be supportive of other people. Whilst, thanks, Matt, you're supporting me on this journey.
And, if you're listening to this, and you might be thinking, oh, do I have prostate cancer, or I'm terrified, or whatever it may be, I would strongly recommend speak to your doctor. That's the best decision you could make. Just have a conversation with your doctor. But saying that, we are going to draw on other resources that are out there, because we aren't the experts, but there are experts out there. And so, for example, there's a great website here in the UK called Prostate Cancer UK, and they do all sorts of amazing work and support and research and everything into this whole issue that a lot of men face. In fact, they say that 1 in 8 men will get prostate cancer in their lifetime. That's staggering, isn't it? What do you think about that? 1 in 8 men.
Yeah, it's incredible. It shows, but I'm not, in some respects, I'm not surprised, because I know 3 people, 3 of the men who've got prostate cancer, people of different ages, nobody really young. Most of the people that I know who are receiving treatment for prostate cancer are in their 60s. So, and I'm 64, just so we're all clear. It was interesting when I was diagnosed, I was actually told I was quite young for my condition. It's been a long time since somebody told me I was young. So,
but if you're young and you are still concerned, I would still have that conversation. I mean, don't just say, "Oh, well, I'm not yet 60, so it can't possibly be." Just ask. You never know. But just you were asymptomatic, is that right? You didn't have any symptoms.
No. If I was, well, without going into too much detail, I was being tested about my prostate, because 2 years ago I actually had sepsis, which was caused by an infection in my prostate. So the doctors have been keeping an eye on the fact that I'd had that infection and what's the infection coming back. And so they were doing PSA tests looking for that. And as a side effect of that, discovered in June of last year that my PSA levels were going up. And that's led to the discovery in December that I actually had prostate cancer.
And another great thing that the Prostate Cancer UK website does for you is they've got a quick little sort of survey, a quick quiz. It says, check your risk in 30 seconds, because there are certain groups of people, certain sort of factors, lifestyle factors and things, and genetic markers and all sorts of stuff that affect your risk level. So that might be something interesting to have a look at if you are wondering about prostate cancer. ProstateCancerUK.org is the website address. And on their front page there, it's got a check your risk in 30 seconds little sort of quiz. You click on the thing and you're off. And it only takes 30 seconds, so it won't take you very long. Even while you're sitting on the loo, you could just do that, 30 seconds. That's a good that's a good use of your time. Something else that they mentioned on the site is they do have a few possible symptoms to look out for. So they say that difficulty starting to urinate or emptying your bladder might be a symptom. A weak flow when you urinate, feeling that your bladder hasn't emptied properly, or dribbling urine after you've finished urinating, needing to urinate more often than usual, especially at night, or a sudden need to urinate, and you may sometimes leak urine before you get to the toilet. Now, there's lots of urine talk. So whereabouts is the prostate, and what kind of organs does it affect?
Well, Matt, just before you disappear off on that one, just to say, I had none of those symptoms. Okay, so I had none of those symptoms at all. And not only that, but with my type of cancer, what I was told was, there's a genetic component to this. Have any of your family ever had prostate cancer that you know of? And the answer is no. Yeah. I'm all the men in my family, and I'm one of 4 brothers and so on. As far as I'm aware, none of my close relatives have had prostate cancer. I was asymptomatic, so I had no symptoms, none of the normal symptoms. They picked this up simply because of my previous infection. So just to say, all those things are excellent, but it doesn't mean to say that you necessarily that you haven't got prostate cancer. So it's a very strange disease, and it certainly caught me on the hop. And I just think, to say to people, as you say, go and talk to your doctor if you're worried at all.
Yeah. So we know what the prostate is because you've had it checked. I've had mine checked, etc. But there might be some listeners who have no idea at all what the prostate is, what it does, where it is in the body. Is it attached to the heart, or is it in the brain, or what's going on?
Yeah, it's just so that everybody else knows, Matt. So I'm a scientist by training. And I used to teach science at school. I was a teacher for 15 years. So I know a little bit about it. And basically, the prostate's down in your groin. And basically, just behind your penis. So I knew where it was. I must admit, I've never had a prostate exam until I was about 40, and that was quite a surprise when it happened. So it's an interesting experience, let's say that. But yes, so yeah, and the prostate helps you to have to ejaculate, to come. It's a very important part of that, and indeed provides the chemicals that you need to make semen. So without it, you can't have kids. So it's a very important part of your body, and it certainly also is a key part to sex and having an erection and stuff like that. So it's plays an important role in you.
Mm. And you just mentioned that you're a scientist by trade, but you've not been doing sciencey things for many, many years. You've been doing other things. And of course, this podcast is sponsored and hosted by the Ferry Project. So what can you tell us about the Ferry Project and your involvement in that and all of that?
Okay, so the Ferry Project is a homelessness organisation based in North Cambridgeshire in a town called Wisbech. The Ferry Project, I started the Ferry Project back in 1998 with the support of a local church group called Wisbech Churches Together, and specifically one church, the King's Church in Wisbech. And they helped us to start it from scratch. There was no homelessness provision in the town. The town is a small town. Its population's about 32,000. And we're in the middle of the Fens, which is a rural part of Britain where there's lots of wheat, and it's very flat, and it's a drained area of Britain. So I started it, and I've been acting as CEO for that organisation since 1999 when it first started. And at this moment, I was in the process of retiring. So fortunately, the prostate cancer has come in that process. So I've already got a replacement in place. So this prostate cancer will not adversely affect the charity as we move forward. But yes, that's the connection with Ferry Project. And just to say, what we do know is that Ferry Project helps 300 people a year. And most of those people who come forward for a homeless charity are men. And a number of those men have issues with their prostate. So we support probably 200 men a year. If the figures are right, that means that we're looking at 24, 25 of those men a year will actually have prostate cancer sometime in their life.
So it's still a relevant topic, even and especially for rural homelessness and what we're dealing with at the Ferry Project. Just today, I work for the Ferry Project as well. I am a communications officer there, and we also have another relationship between us as well, don't we, Keith? Because I married your daughter some years ago.
You did, Matt. You did. So yes, you're my son-in-law. We're keeping it in the family. But the interesting thing, of course, Matt, is that we come from very, very different backgrounds. So I'm from Salford originally and grew up in Oldham and came to Wisbech as part of my teaching career. And of course, where are you from?
I am from Zimbabwe originally, in Africa. It's a country in southern Africa, just above South Africa. And yeah, I was born there, grew up there, went to school there, moved to the UK about 23 years ago now. And yeah, here I am in Wisbech as well.
That's right. And we met, and indeed, we first met because we're both Christians and we both attend a church, the King's Church in Wisbech. And that's how you got to know me, and you got to know my family, including my daughter, who you married.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's correct. So that's who we are. I wonder, if you want to share who you are, or ask any questions or whatever, then, get in touch with Ferry Project. We have a website, ferryproject.org.uk. Of course, you can also find out more about the work we do. But if you want to get in touch with us, if you have any feedback or comments or questions that you want us to include in the show, there's email addresses on that website as well that you can get in touch with us with. So yeah, we are keeping these short and sweet because we know that your time is precious. So we will be back soon with another episode of the Prostate Pitstop. So look out for us. Why don't you like it? Share it with your friends because it's really important stuff. This could save someone's life listening to this. So, share it amongst your social media. Let people know about it because, yeah, why don't you join the journey with us? So we look forward to seeing you really soon. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Prostate Pitstop, sponsored by the Ferry Project. Make sure you subscribe and share.